In this episode, we leave the Percy Islands and motor sail 13 hours across glassy seas. Yep, boring, but at least we caught fish.
We enjoy the delights of beautiful Brampton Island.
And glorious clear waters of Carlisle Island as well. Stick around and see another brilliant piece of Australia. With almost 80 nautical miles ahead of us to reach Brampton Island, where we plan to sit out the approaching strong southeasterly blow, it was going to be a long day. We up-anchored in the dark shortly after 4 AM in order to reach our new anchorage before sunset.
If you feel lonely, I will be here and wait for the sun. It's getting closer, but it will never last down. Here by the ocean, fire is burning, flares in the wind.
Fish on! This is your daily exercise, isn't it, Rob? Oh, gone deep. There you go. He is. That was him sideways, I think. He is a knack.
I have no doubt, I know you really want to stay till the fires burn out. Days like this will slowly fade away. Memories will always stay the same.
We're supposed to have sort of 6-7 knots of northeast, which with us motoring into it at 6 knots would have given us a nice breeze to fill the sails. Instead, we got 0, naught, nil, nothing at all. But we're motoring along nicely on calm seas, so at least it's relaxing. We're also catching some fish, and we're on schedule to make it into the anchorage at Brampton Island ahead of sunset, which has always been the goal. And if the forecast is correct, we've got quite a number of days of strong southeasterly winds coming, so Brampton will be our choice to sit those out.
Memories will always stay the same. Always stay the same.
And here we are at beautiful Brampton Island. That's Carlisle Island over here, and to our stern, as we're actually being held with wind and tide at the moment, is the stunning Brampton Island. And we have the anchorage to ourselves. Just one motorboat over there at Carlisle. So the rundown for the skipper: maximum speed 8.5 knots, 12 hours and 57 minutes. Distance was 79 nautical miles even. The average speed was 6.1 knots, and we got here before sunset. It's beer o'clock, mate.
It's getting closer, but it will never last.
The wind arrived that night and brought the rain with it for 4 days, restricting us to the boat. But by Thursday afternoon, things calmed enough for us to think that the end may finally be near. Day 5 at Brampton Island, and the sun's shining. The wind is still blowing. We got 20-25 knots in the anchorage. I've been so looking forward to a clear sky so I can get in on the beach or whatever, but I don't think it'll be too comfortable in there. Oh well, another day reading. Eight days since we got off the boat.
It's nice to be walking on land.
Very, very nice to be going for a stroll. Of course, you'd never guess it's low tide. All of that reef gets covered at high. But what it does for us at the moment is gives us a very calm anchorage. And we've had another 3 boats come in this afternoon. Now that's the remains of a railway that used to take a cane train sized engine and carriages out to a jetty that was down in that bay, and that's how all the tourists used to arrive at Brampton Island originally until they built the airport.
Quite a unique way to arrive to a tropical island, isn't it? Oh, here's one of the entrances to the National Park walks.
So back in 1987 I spent weeks and weeks and weeks here at the Brampton Island Resort. There was a major redevelopment going on with a lot of new units, etc., and I had the contract for the installation of all of the floor coverings in the units and the bar and the restaurant, etc. So it was a lot of work, but the place was still operational and it was just absolutely buzzing, fantastic atmosphere, and just one of the most beautiful places on the Great Barrier Reef. And when we first came back, we sailed here 5 years ago, 2015, our first trip up the coast in our Dreamtime. And we were struck at how surreal it is that all the units were still furnished. The TVs sitting on the cabinets, the beds in place, the washing machines, you name it. There were still pool balls on the pool table. Jet skis having been back. There's still look at Hobie cats around the water sports area. It was this, as if it was a science fiction movie and the aliens had come and just removed all the people and this was what was left. I did a blog on it at the time, a lot of photos of how it looked and just how it was just abandoned as it was. Really is such a shame because it's a beautiful island and this was an unbelievably beautiful resort. Okay, I'm just getting a photo of the map for the National Park walks, and hopefully if the weather's good we shall get underway up those tomorrow. The last we heard is that the company that owned Brampton had been back and forwards with the Mackay City Council and with the National Parks and Wildlife Service about redevelopment plans. They wanted to knock all this down and create, would you believe, a 7-star resort, very exclusive, catering for less than 20 people, but as a condition of it, they wanted full control of the beach to the water regardless of tide. See, normal law in Queensland is that you only own or lease to the high water mark. So people like us from boats, we can come in, not a problem, on the beach, not allowed any further. There are only, I think, a couple of places, I know Hayman Island is one of them, that have got special terms on a lease to give them control of the complete foreshore to the water. And from what we hear, National Parks and Wildlife Service and the Queensland Government, Mackay City Council just said it's not going to happen on Brampton. And from what we understand, the company has now given up and the place is on the market. No idea of an asking price. But I've got to tell you, you've got to spend a lot of money because it is a national park. This is just leasehold part of the park. And when you start demolishing all of this, it's all got to be taken off the island. Can't be buried, can't be disposed of here. So what's going to happen with Brampton Island? Who knows? We're probably going to cruise back this way 10 years' time and find it just a little bit more dilapidated.
Lead on.
I get all the snakes and I get all of the cobwebs right in the middle of my butt. And that's my job. but I missed it one.
Oh no! Well, hey, it's way too high for me, so I can just walk on under. Such a gentleman getting all of the cobwebs and the snakes for me.
Beautiful farm. You do have to keep your eyes on the ground because there is a snake down there that was sunbaking right in the middle of the path as I approached. Looks like a green tree snake sort of thing, but there are taipans on these islands, so we don't take any risks. Leave snakes alone and they'll leave you alone. Well, it is winter, it's the dry season at the moment, so this is all dry, the water course.
It's quite spectacular, isn't it, in wet season?
It would potentially be rushing through there. Say old mate down at the resort is doing some more mowing by the sound of that hum, breaking up the bird song in the tranquility.
He did say that he was going to be mowing today. He always makes seats too high.
It's fine by me. Hey, at least we got a seat.
True. And with a beautiful view.
There's the southern entrance to Carlisle Passage and the resort runway, and a great view of their sewage treatment plant, which we understand under their lease with the Queensland National Parks, that has to be kept operational at all times, which is a big factor in why there's a caretaker here. That's the story we hear. Might be urban legend, but it seems quite reasonable. Well, it's a bit over 7.5 kilometres up to the top and back, and we allowed ourselves 2.5 hours, but unfortunately we're a bit slower on the way up because every time we turn around there's something else to look at, there's something else to shoot some footage of. We're going to have to push on, get to the top, and then we'll probably have to be pretty smart getting back down, otherwise our dinghy is going to be high and dry with the water miles away. And,
Well then we can just have a swim and wait.
it'll be waiting a long time.
Lots of swimming. You wouldn't believe it, would you? We've walked all the way up here, and one of the lookouts we wanted to go to on Western Bay is closed. Would have been nice to have the sign down at the beginning. Not to worry, we'll go up to the pinnacle. And here we are. Just the pictures of pictures.
Congratulations, you actually made it.
Oh, look at that view.
Right across to Goldsmith Island.
Now you can see Pelican Island there. It actually looks like it's part of Brampton Island at the moment. But our Dreamtime is just to the left of that anchored.
There's a view down onto the, I was going to say mothball, but it's not. It's just an abandoned resort.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Good walk?
Yeah, it was a good walk. Let's face it, it's been weeks since we've actually been out walking. And to do an uphill in this very muggy weather. But
Tested the asthma a bit.
we're all good.
All good.
We're all good.
And well worth it just to enjoy the cool up here.
It's lovely, isn't it?
And I actually thought the wind would be pretty strong up here today, but it's really has dropped out. Lovely.
It is beautiful.
All we've got to do now is
Do the downhill one. And make sure the dinghy is
about 3.7 kilometres down and try and get there before the tide goes out and we're left marooned.
Ah, well, a swim at the end will be good.
Well, let's go. I'm walking along the beach back towards the resort. I've come ahead of Karen because when the tide goes out, all that water disappears and there's no way we could get the dinghy off the beach. Now, we thought it'd take us about 90 minutes to get to the top with all our stops and all of our videoing and taking our time. It took 3 hours. So I was very concerned how much water I'd find when I got back here. I've left Karen with the VHF radio and a phone. She is following along at her pace. And what took us 3 hours to get up, I'm puffing because I came down in 35 minutes. But the good news is there's enough water for me to get the dinghy out of here off the resort beach and down the other side of the Pelican Island reef, so we won't get stuck. Vu. I'm sure I've walked up here before. I've got the dinghy the other side of the reef now and we're all good. She's sitting there waiting for us. Now I'll walk back and meet up with Karen. Fancy meeting you here.
Save the dinghy.
Yeah, we're all good. I moved it to the other side of the reef.
I wanted to go for a swim though.
A lot of water up there to swim in. Beach on the go. Hopefully fish for dinner.
Rob, are you multitasking?
Don't tell anyone.
Oh, and we can hear that drone of that engine.
Oh yeah, just making hot water for a shower after our walk.
It was a good walk, wasn't it?
It was a great walk actually.
Yeah.
I've had my exercise for the month of June.
Alright, you keep multitasking there and don't burn the pizza.
I reckon a beer would be good.
You and I, we never show emotions, we just keep it down inside. Yeah, you and I, both longing for expression for the things we like, but we stay quiet.
Here we are on Carlisle Island, which is straight across from Brampton. There's a passage that goes through which basically at a very low tide dries and you can walk across here. But with the tide still in, we brought Tinny 2 in because Kate, one of our followers, has told us about a Melaleuca forest which has tiny frogs. So we're going to have a look and also have a lovely swim in this crystal clear water. Well, we found butterflies.
No shortage of butterflies. There's a sandy point on Carlisle Island straight across from the resort. And it is beautiful sand, there's no question about that. That bush is a little bit impenetrable by the look of it to me.
Yes, maybe when the resort was operating, they kept a clear track through.
Beautiful little beach there.
Time for a swim.
Hold me now, tell me things, tell me all about how you feel. Just let yourself go. Say it loud, wake the world on the other side, make it real. Just let yourself go. Just let go. Just let go. Just let go.
Well, the line is set. What are we hoping to do, Rob?
Catch fish.
Go on, everyone admit. We've all gone here, fishy, fishy, fishy. So what happened, mate?
We didn't catch any fish. We had a lovely little cruise along the coast up to the West Point.
Yeah,
It was very nice.
it was.
Would have been a lot nicer with a mackerel, but you get that.
You do.
After 8 days at Brampton, the time had come to make like the seagulls and take off. Destination, Goldsmith Island. See you there in the next episode. If you're enjoying our videos, please make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It really does help us with YouTube to reach more people. If you also hit the bell button, you'll be notified each time we release a new episode. Come sail with us again soon.